Alright, here we are back with our elemental combo deck, and we just took down Eldrazi. Let's see what we're up against now. Our opening hand. Our opponent mulligans. Keeps it 6. We have just our Niv Magus, a couple lands. We'll keep this. Oh, more white. Oh man. White is one of our toughest matchups unless we get Apostle's Blessing going. We just need to see if we can play into that, and there's a path right there, and a Spell Snare. Spell Snare doesn't really hurt us because we don't have anything, I think, other than Kiln Fiend. Oh, we also have the Temur Battle Rage that costs 2, but we really need to protect this Niv Magus Elemental. So far in their hand, nothing. Oh, Spreading Seas. Interesting. I think people are playing that just against the Eldrazi. We'll play out a Gemstone Mine. We can't play too slowly here. We can't dance too much around that path, just because they're going to get Value City out of things like this Kitchen Finks, and we've got to do something about that. But if we can draw another creature, I'd be all over playing our Niv Magus Elemental. Right now, the Spell Snare is dead in their hand. Don't know what some of the other cards are. Another Ghost Quarter. Okay. That's okay. We'll take another mountain. Then at our deck gets some creatures. And Apostle's Blessing. Or a creature. We'll take either of those right now. If we had another Niv Magus Elemental, that would be a solid draw. Looting, okay. Well, let's play that. Assault Strobe, Temur Battle Rage. Well, they have Spell Snare for the Temur Battle Rage. That's not so great. The instant speed, if they have other counters, that's pretty powerful to get them to tap out. Oh. Our graveyard. We will Faithless Looting again. Okay, there's another Niv Magus Elemental. Perfect. So next turn, we can be in business. So I think we can dump our other land and go. Yeah, I don't know if we should have kept that mutagenic growth or not. Maybe we should have. I don't know. The Assault Strobe and Temur Battle Rage are pretty awesome right now, though. So I think if we play Niv Magus Elemental, both of them, leave them both, and an Apostle's Blessing. Okay. We'll play the Niv Magus Elemental. We'll play the other one. We go to Path to exile the one. We really only need one to stick. So, okay. You have to watch out because they could have. Oh, this is perfect because they don't have Spell Snare, because Spell Snare could also hit our Apostle's Blessing. I forgot about that. So, they're tapped out of blue, and They're going to Snapcaster Path, but we have the Apostles' Blessing. Perfect. Perfect. We are low on life, but there are many, many, many worse things than that with our deck. We can win on pretty low life. Okay. So we're going to take... No, we don't have to take this. We can block Gut Shot. Oh, he was protected from white. Oh, yeah. Didn't have to issue. Oh, perfect. So now we can ground rift for full value. That's right. We have protection from white. This is what happens when I record these videos and then I do a voiceover on them. Sometimes forget that what I did and how I thought things through. So, Temur Battle Rage, they're tapped out. Assault Strobe, we will just exile this. And then we're going to ground rift, exiling all of it. We're going to exile all these spells. Exiled, 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 exiled. 9, 9, 11. And we'll cast it again. Boom. You are dead. Exile, exile, exile. How many points of damage can we do to you? And then we will attack you for 41, 42. Ha! Sweet! Tell you, getting through multiple paths to exile is an accomplishment with this deck. Other versions of this deck I used to run other protection spells, splashing green. It just didn't work out as well. These Phyrexian mana spells are really important to the deck. Against white, I like bringing in our Death Shadows, mainly because there's 2 extra creatures for us to draw into. We tend to be pretty low on life because we'll often pay out our stuff and then they path at the very last second and we get burned pretty hard. So having a big buff creature come out, but having 2 of them in our opening hand, yeah, I think, we're playing against white. We need to have something with 2 City of Brass. We can get there pretty quickly. So, there's their Flooded Strand. Are we going to get pathed here already? Celestial Purge. Okay. So that is their sideboard tech, I'm guessing. Loot. Ooh. Apostle's Blessing. A Kiln Fiend. These Death Shadows just don't look that amazing. I think we'll get rid of one of them. And the Ground Rift, as we can't really get too much value out of that. Faithless Looting, Mutagenic Growth. Now we could flash back Faithless Looting if we need to. But this next turn we could play out a Kiln Fiend and protect it with Apostle's Blessing. Still have to worry about the spell snares, although they may have taken them out, realizing we don't really have too many 2-mana spells for them to counter. Nearly all of our spells cost 1, especially last turn. Only when they saw that cost 2. I guess they saw Apostle's Blessing. Most people don't think that costs 2. You also think of it costing just 1, but it does cost 2. So that's still a consideration we have to keep in mind. So I think this next turn we'll play out the City of Brass. We'll take some damage from that. Play out our Kiln Fiend. See what we draw to. I mean, if we draw Surgical Extraction, that's really good because we could hit Celestial Purge. Just don't know if that's what we want to be hitting. Path to Exile. Okay. We will protect it with Apostle's Blessing. Protection from white. And should we do a Celestial Surgical Extraction now? Yeah, we don't want them to untap and get access to it again. Path to Exile again. So that's their hand, full land. Sweet. And they have 3 more Path to Exile. We'll get rid of those. Supreme Verdict, Dismembers, Detention Sphere. That could be bad. And the Condemn. That could be rough for us too. Okay, we just need to draw gas now. So we know they had a handful of 3 lands. Should have made note of what they were. That's my fault. So we're almost to the point where we can play Death Shadow if we use the City of Brass. So it'll come into play as a 1/1. It's not terrible. Mutagenic Growth, that's sweet. Okay. Pay 2 life. Pump up our Kiln Fiend to a 6/4, and we will attack for 6. And then we'll play one of these Death Shadows. I just have to be worrisome for that Supreme Verdict, right? Like, that's in the back of my mind. Don't want to play out my whole hand. Also want to keep up thought that, hey, I might have another pump spell, so they might go after my Kiln Fiend instead of my Death Shadow. Drawing a land here is pretty bad. But we'll just ping ourselves. Yep, and we will attack that way. See if they activate their Celestial Colonnade. Oh, they really can't. They need 5. That's right. Okay. So we'll hit him for 6 more here. Keep this mountain in our hand just to keep them off their game, right? Like, this is where being a poker player in Magic kind of pays off. You want them to think you have stuff, and so that makes them wonder what's going on. Ghost Quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if they Ghost Quartered one of our Cities of Brass, but this is perfect. So we can Jataxim Probe, take a peek at their hand, pumps our Kiln Fiend, so now we have lethal on board. And if we draw more gas, we can have lethal with both of our creatures. So even if they blocked with Celestial Colonnade, we still would win. Yep, there it is. What's in their hand? Oh, sweet. Oh, man, they drew straight up a bunch of lands. So we're going to play Apostle's Blessing, and that will seal the win. Right, so even if they played the Celestial Colonnade, becomes a white and blue creature, so we just give it protection. And we got there. Sweet. Elemental combo, doing it.